So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, our elephant in the room. And okay, so I'll continue the story. So she was saying, because I was like, oh, she'd invite the woman over and her husband, and we all met them and had dinner.
Over to the house.
Yeah, to her house, my parents' house.
Okay.
Had a great time, super funny. They were like, just like the dad was a drummer, just like the husband was a drummer, just like my dad. Mm-hmm. The wife is a nurse practitioner, like my mom. So it was just like, wow, they seem really like kindred spirits, very cool. Go with it. So she was like, oh, she keeps inviting me to these, like, an all-white party, like, all these just different things that I'm like, oh, it sounds cool, Mom.
Are they events that she's putting on, or just events that are just social events?
Some were just social events. Some were like, she's on a board of hospital something, so she'd invited her to this other thing. I think my mom said it in like 5 different events that she'd been invited to, and she was like, I just feel like I'm on her list of donors. You know, when people go down their list of who can contribute or who's going to do. And I was like, oh. And having been in Atlanta a little bit longer than she had, I kind of had to give her a little bit of schooling on it. I was like, you know, just because they're thinking of you. Don't think of that they're thinking of your pockets, because they may or may not be, who knows. But if you're on their list, that means that at least you're on their minds. Like, I said, but then use that as a way, if you want to be closer friends with them, then let it lead to other things besides just those events and being invited.
But is that enough? Like, if you're only reaching out to me to come to an event, is that a friend?
Well, I don't know. Could it turn into a friendship?
I don't know how it could, though. Because you're not really getting to know me in these events with all these other hundreds of people. Right.
But then also, if there's a follow-up and a girl, let's meet for lunch.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm good with that. I can see that.
Someone extends the event invite. Mm-hmm. And then you enjoy yourself. Mm-hmm. But maybe you didn't get to spend fixed time with them, or even know if you wanted to.
Right.
Then I feel like after that invite, it could be, maybe not to your house, but like, hey girl, I had a great time. How about we meet for lunch or whatever? Just to get, like, that could be an opening to more.
I feel like there should be follow-up steps. I'm kind of like your mama.
Uh-huh.
I feel like if the only time you reach out to me is to buy 31 or to invite me to an online party, or to invite me to come to a purchasing event. Mm-hmm. And that's the only
What about if it was a free event?
Are you interacting with me?
So it's the interaction that you're thinking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, because a 31 party is still free. I don't have to buy anything.
Right.
But you're looking at me as a potential client or customer. Right. Mm-hmm. So I think it has to be reciprocated in some type of way. So if you see that I've invited you to my house, mm-hmm, and you engaged in a meal with my family, like you met my children, mm-hmm, you clearly understand that my thought process, my style, my relationship type is engaging you into my world. Right. Well, your world may be events. I'm still not really getting to know you.
Okay, so one of the events was her birthday.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Come to the birthday event dinner thing. Mm-hmm. So then my mom was like, and then we had to pay. Like for the, like the birthday dinner. Yeah. So it was a birthday dinner in which they had to pay, which I guess, we know that and we already talked about that, but like my mom still felt like that wasn't personal enough. But I was like, but it was her birthday party. Like, you didn't have to go.
Did she talk to her?
I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but I guess she felt like it still wasn't really like a real invitation. And I'm like, I think it depends on what you felt. Like,
yeah,
if you felt like there was a true something, a thank you or, whatever. I don't know what else was going on behind the scenes between these events or how you even got to that invite. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like...
Because if you're on my birthday list, that's a different list than my come and
to the
donate
event
list.
That's true.
So...
No, I do agree with that.
And so I was like, well,
I do have a little special feeling in my heart if somebody allows me to be involved on their birthday celebration.
It's different.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Jamaica trip. I'm
yeah.
like, oh, thank you for letting me be
a step closer. And you would be, I would think that you would be considered a friend if I invited you to a birthday something. If I invited you to a birthday, I would consider you a friend, not a constituent or not a donor.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little more intimate.
And then, so you can tell me if or when or at all, because I could tell you what I told my mom.
Okay.
So she was like, I mean, what's wrong with going to her house? And I was like, so the only way that you will know that you are her friend is if you have been to her house. And she was like, I mean, back home, that's how you know. Like, you just invite. It's not all this other stuff. It's just come to my house, have this, or I go to your house and have this. And I was like, well, there's a lot of people who wouldn't think I'm their friend because they ain't been to my house. So, like, but I still feel like it doesn't have to be come all up to my house for me to be your friend.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But maybe that's old school.
I'm just trying to think, though.
Her thought process.
So the first time you came to my house was for a 31 party.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm so glad she got to come to my house. Okay. Like, she sees where I live, and that's a little bit more, that's one step closer to us being, like, for real friends.
Right. But that was for a 31 party. So if you never invited me, if I never invited myself to your house for a 30, I don't know,
However it went down.
If that never happened,
you would have been invited another time.
Some other time.
Mm-hmm.
So to say, she only want to come here because she's doing a 31 party, that's not a real friend. Like, at what point
I felt like I was doing the 31 party because we were friends.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt too. Like, not us. But like,
right.
For someone who...
No, we're not about to break up.
Right.
I was just saying.
For someone like my mother, at what point do you continue to try to make a friend or find different ways? Or does it have to be packaged the way that you only can see it as a friend before you can just put a stamp on that person and be like, okay, I think we're friends now. Like, and as an adult, I guess that's hard for some. For me, I always know the turning points. It could be a phone conversation and I'll be like, okay, that's my friend.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be...
Or a text reaching out.
Yeah, a text reaching out. Even I heard you were sick type of thing, like, oh, they care, they thought, or whatever. It doesn't have to be an invite to your house for me to be like, now, got him, or whatever. No, so I did check her on it. I was like, well, I feel like you're making it this thing, this box. And friendships don't have to be like that. Like, there can be different friends at different levels. And some can start here and progress to further. But if you're blocking it from even starting because you're judging, like, I'm a constituent, she just wants my money, I just feel like you don't know what she wants.
Yeah.
So.
No, all of those things are very true and very real. Just like you can't, stereotype people about certain things. Because I was just sitting here thinking, devil's advocate.
Yeah, I want that.
That if that is the lady's world, and that is, maybe her home is jacked up.
That's what my mom said too. She's like, oh, maybe they don't have a house that's nice.
I wasn't talking about like that.
I was like, Mom.
Like, maybe her happy place is not in her house.
Oh, her home.
wasn't speaking like literally. Like maybe her house is not a home.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Like Luther.
That's for you, Felicia. So, yeah, maybe it's just the situation where this is her element, this is her vibe, this is her place.
Right, yeah.
But your mama could still see that as this heifer fake. Oh, fake heifer.
I know. Let me see the real. And my mom is. She is that. And I think it's just because she's known people for so long that it's been a long time since she's had to make new friends.
Well, I'm telling her, Anna invited to the house, but she's going to have to come to church too, so it's going to be a little bit of event mixed in with the house. Josh, you get both worlds, and that's what she wants from Ann, honey.
Oh, Lord. And, I mean, I'm sure my mom would love it. It's not,
I think she wants a good old-fashioned friend. Not somebody that's flashy, that's trying to be on the scene. Right. I don't see your mama as the type that even cares about that.
No.
She can take it or leave it.
She's not a networker. She's not, she's not a socialite. She's not one of those. So I get it.
Our mama shared food upon first meeting. Yeah. So she just wants somebody she can come to the house and eat some grits with.
Like a...
He's a grits and salmon.
Right. I was like, okay, Mom. And I love that about her. And I think that...
sweet. They were so excited.
And I think that there is a place for that. I do. But I do think that it's rough. I have a couple friends in LA, and they say it's even harder. Because at least in Atlanta, girls will show you the real them sooner.
And you can pick out a group that you want to plug into.
And it's different groups. But in LA, it's really hard to find. She was like, it's hard to find regular black girls because people are trying to be so... Either you're an actress, you got Instagram, like it's just so much fake that you can't find your people. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. I think that we're very lucky to have the friends that we have. But I don't know. If you guys have some feelings about it, let us know. I really would love to hear how you go about making friends in different cities. Like, how do you start it? How do you start making friends? How do you initiate friendships? How do you follow up with the friends? I know we have a couple of good suggestions about that, and we gave a little, but I know that's something we definitely want to, share later on.
Well, I mean, can we go another direction here?
Yeah, what?
That's being entrepreneurs. What do you expect from a friend as far as entrepreneurship? Because I'm going to tell this story about one of my friends. When I first wrote my children's book, Brown Girl, What Do You See?
Yes.
Available on Amazon. And
pick it up.
Be the light.
Yes, get that.
Girl. I always do those I do those shameless plugs about once every 2 months.
Shameless, ain't no shame at all.
So, but when I first, published it or whatever, I was super excited. And one of my very best friends seemed #uninterested.
Oh.
And I didn't understand it. It almost hurt my feelings. But then I was like, well, she's not on social media, so she doesn't understand the excitement that I have. I
don't think social media should have anything to do with excitement.
Right.
Like, if I wasn't on social media and I found my friend wrote a book, I would be, like, crying because that's amazing. It wouldn't have to do with if social media cares.
You didn't cry, but you did at least contribute to the book launch, and you helped me vend, and you...
And I share every single time you post anything about these books. Like, come on.
I know you did, but
I do.
You didn't cry.
I do.
You didn't cry.
I didn't even know you at that point.
For real though.
But like, if I knew, like
it was like we've been friends for 15 years.
Yeah. So like Shauna Christmas, the comedian who I love, she I looked at her website and I was like, oh my God, she's doing it. And like, she has her shirts. And I'm like, oh my God, these are cute. I can't wait to get it. Like, I feel like